Righty ho, back in the saddle with the Sesh, and this time we're going to have another look at another brewery lineup. This time it's Townshend's, the present holder of the 2014 champion brewer of New Zealand, I should say, and going to see what he's got for us today. So while I fish this bottle out, give them the rundown on Townsend, Sam.
Townshend started 2005, based in Upper Mootri, so the heart of the hop country, surrounded by other breweries. It basically sounds like it's a man in a shed. 1,100 litre capacity, so he's doing pretty well. You see his beers around the place for such a small operation. So I'm looking forward to this little selection we have today.
No, that's for a man in a shed. That's coverage, you know.
Yeah.
We're men in a shed, and you can't buy our beer anywhere. So he must just brew day and night getting this stuff out. But anyway, we'll see what he does brew. This is Townshend's Scissor Jacks, which probably means something to someone, but I'm not that man. Hoppy lager, so 7.4%.
Sediment as well, so be careful.
I didn't want to start with the strongest, but you can't not start with the lager, so I figured we'll just get into it. On the website, this says 6.6%, so he's
fizzy.
Snuck it up
Gone up in
while
the
we
world.
weren't looking.
Pointed
Closer,
label.
spinning away, closer and closer
Look at that
to
colour.
straight up malt liquor. But
In keeping with
yeah.
the scissor jack motif, there's very much an automobile and engine thing going on this
so
rather
we're
lively
getting.
label.
Yeah.
It is hop rodded and full powered, apparently.
Yep.
So what is a scissor jack? That's an
That's the
Jack
standard
is
jack
this
you get in
one.
the car.
see, there
Yeah.
we go,
Yes.
there we go.
It's the one that comes with your car.
Automotive currency.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
No.
Yeah, that is easily the darkest lager I have ever seen that wasn't a black lager or some other
It's got
specialty
some,
one.
Maybe a caramelised malt in there, do you think?
I don't know. Possibly just twice as much malt as we're used to looking at. Could be the
Reasonably
case.
small
But
pour on
that's
that.
that's a richer old lager there.
As you'd expect from all those hops, it's almost an IPA to smell it. If someone told me this is an IPA, I would not tell
It's a
them.
good
no, that's
colour
a
for
lager.
an IPA.
Yeah, no, it's what do we actually have here? We've got. It's certainly hoppy, and they're not.
Yep.
You know, they're not big gold fruit basket hops. They're quite.
Bittering hops.
Yeah, they're hops you'd expect to find in lager. There's just a lot more of them, so that's quite nice. It's quite
The
different.
label doesn't tell us which ones.
No, it
Yeah,
really
that's
does.
alright.
But anyway, let's see.
Local ones, probably.
Yes.
You know, that's too tasty to be a lager. There's too much flavour. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a really strong creamy caramel toffee in there.
The hops
Yep.
actually are quite fruity on the palate. They're not so much on the nose, but
That is a lip-smacking confectionery. of a
they're-
lager.
It's got a good bit of alcohol on the back of it too.
they're,
Heats up.
that's really sweet, really quite good, lively hops. That's quite odd. Last thing I call this is a lager. I'm sure it has been lagered. You know, I'm sure it is a lager, but it's easily the best lager I've had ever because it's just that interesting.
It's got flavour.
Yeah.
Be quite generous on this pour, and I'm regretting it.
It's a
That's-
good sharing beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good to share too,
A
but
good
if
one
you've got
to
any
have,
sharing
yeah.
to do, get in there.
Yeah.
And no, it's nice. We probably shouldn't have poured quite that much, but never mind.
No.
Right, well, on to the next, which happens to be the confusingly named Sutton Hoo American Amber Ale.
Transcontinental.
Also, crossing time zones and time periods.
Just about. And also coming way back in strength to a far more manageable 4.7.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sutton Hoo being the famous, very early medieval English battleground.
Anglo-Saxon.
I think
Anglo-Saxon
Anglo-Saxon,
even? Yes.
yeah. I think it's further back than that, and it's where they get lots of good hauls of
Yes.
Anglo artifacts.
A
All
good
sorts
depiction
of
of the famous
jewellery.
Sutton Hoo helmet on the bottle here.
Yeah.
But an American amber ale, you say?
Amber
Yeah.
Ale, yeah.
Fizzy one.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
got a bit of head.
Jeez.
that's lively. Never
No,
mind.
is that real ale? Does that count as real ale if it's got that much fizz on it?
No. No, Townsend tell you all about real ale, but sadly these ones probably don't qualify. Has to
Off
come
the
out
pull.
of
I'm sure he
has
does
to
them on
come
the
out of a
pull as
cask.
well.
We're back down to a slightly more sensible. Did I see a 4.5 on the bottle?
4.7 on that one.
4.7.
So, but we're still in the sensible category.
Yes.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's amber. Funny enough, not too much different than that
Similar
lager.
colour to
Yeah,
yes.
very similar colour.
But never mind.
Oh,
Amber nonetheless. And that smells...
It reminds me of a slice of very, very juicy, malty bread with marmalade.
Yeah, malty and bready is quite right. I'm not getting a hell of a lot of fruit. This is smelling kind of English to me, actually, rather than American.
Well, what is typically the difference between an English amber ale and an American amber ale?
It's just the hops.
I suspect it would be the hop regimen.
I don't think there would be any other material difference in there other than American beers on a whole tend to be stronger. But yeah, that's quite husky. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what's on the palate.
Ooh, sparkly.
Yeah, that tingles on the tongue.
Yeah, quite a bit of fizz.
That's it's a little bit sweet.
You know, that still tastes... It's a bit un-American. You know, it's not too out there. It's actually very similar to McCashin's Amber,
I see what you mean.
which is another amber and another quite a good beer. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just not getting the Americano off it necessarily.
I don't particularly like it.
Yeah,
It's got a funny thing for me. It's a bit...
I don't know if it's funny. It's just compared to that last one, it's slightly flat. It's sort of. I mean, like I said, it's like the McCashin's one. It's gonna.
I think it's just some odd hop in there.
In fairness, I think we started off with a lager which was profound, huge on alcohol, huge on the flavour. So naturally, what we have next is going to be. It's going to seem different. It's going to be clouded. I think our impressions.
Yeah,
This
maybe.
is a fine ale.
It's
really
good.
enjoying
It's just an amber.
Oh, no, go Dave.
Yeah,
What do you think? What's your opinion, Campbell?
Favoured name.
Nope.
No.
Oh, it's turning away.
Moving on.
Bugger.
Seal of disapproval for a black cat.
Oh well, never mind then. Keep going. This one has, in the past, been one of my favourite, and I think it's one that Townshend's does extremely well, which he should, being from the old country himself. It is the Townshend's Old House ESB at 5.3%, and if you ever see this on the pull from a cask or a bag, then that is the place to get it. It's a very, very good beer off the pull. I'm sure there won't be anything wrong with it out of the bottle, though. We will just have to see.
I am a big fan of ESB. Not a very, very prevalent style.
No, I think
they're
ESBs nearly non-existent in America, uncommon here, but perfectly. I'm going to have a little bit more. Perfectly prevalent in Britain, increasingly the
Home of it.
the third state of brewing, but the home of all bitters really. And I think there's a lot to work with there. ESB can be. It can be more than it is, you know. It's everyone's all into IPAs and stuff like that, and ESB is seen as kind of stuffy. And a lot of the ESBs you can buy that have come all that way from the UK are
not getting
a
the
bit
good ones
stuffy.
here.
Yeah, but I don't know.
We'll have to
You'll
review
to
Dale's
do-
at some point.
Yes,
So that's a
Dale's
good one.
ESB. That's one of the kings. In addition to being one of the only
Around
ones,
here,
but-
anyway.
Yeah. No, nothing wrong with Townshend's one from memory, but let's see. Yeah,
very
see, there you
mild
go. There's
nose.
the ESB.
Very slight
It's
soapiness.
It's that caramel toffee,
Little
which
bit,
comes
yeah,
up
sort of toffee
and
chocolate
is
on the nose.
just as punchy as any hops that are in there. That is always the tell for an ESB for me, and I think that has there's an elegance to it which you don't get in strongly hopped beers because it's distinctive and it's characterful, but it's gentle as well.
It's got a very smooth mouthfeel. And it's got a great finish on the flavour as well. It's a little bit sort of husky. In a good way, I mean. Yeah,
That
usually it's
is
a bad
like-
thing, but that's quite nice.
It's like drinking a glass of lightly whipped cream. It doesn't feel like a liquid. It gets on the tongue. It's like a gentle foam somehow. It's that creamy
It does.
delicateness.
It does have some good body.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of the big thing with the ESBs like this is crystal malt usually.
Yeah.
A lot of crystal malt goes in, and subsequently there's a lot of unfermentable sugars in there, so you end up with quite a good weighty beer. If you go to Britain, then you'll see it everywhere. Beers that express themselves with malt, where the hops support everything rather than define the flavour. So, I don't know. I think we can stand to see more. I think
I'm
it's
greatly enjoying
great.
the silky foam texture to it, but as an ESB, it's less sweet and less bitter than I'd expect. The flavours are just not as huge, not as mouth-filling.
Because it's, what is it, 5.3? It's not gigantic.
It
That's
is
sort
indeed,
of,
yes.
that's sort of just an ESB. Someone once explained to me how the special rating goes up, where you sort of 3 to 3.5 is a better, and then up to 5 is a best better, and then over 5 it's an extra special better ESB. But that's just a bit of nonce, really. I mean, they're not stylistically very different. They're just stronger beers, so there's more of them in the glass. But yeah, this is. I'd say this is quite typical for an ESB. I think actually, though this one's very good, I think Dale's might be still my favourite. I've got a bit of a soft spot for that beer. I think it just has it has just slightly fruitier, slightly more dynamic.
It's got those lovely local
characters
hops going
in
on
it,
it.
yeah. Right, next one. It's going to be time for the Keystone. Very interesting names with all of these. I don't understand a single one of them. Milk Stout, 5.5%. Contains awesome velvety goodness. Alright, well, we'll go with that. Now, I haven't tried Townshend's Milk Stout. I think it might be a bit recent.
Yeah,
I see
new to
it
me.
has a 2014... Oh, it's not gold. Never mind, it's bronze. Awful. Ooh.
We can't make justice.
Oh,
without
dear.
having a beer.
Oh,
Don't
dear.
slag me off.
No, I've got a bit of grass in there, never mind. It's alright.
Bit of Steinlager.
It's all
for you.
Steinlager now, yeah. Poor Steinlager.
It's almost a little translucent there.
Yeah, it's not massively dark.
5.5%,
Nice thick
so a
head
good
on it.
balanced strength.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
5.5 is quite good in a stout. It's just a little bit lighter.
Well, it's
Espresso
milky.
colours, the almost
Espressi.
black body and the faintly beige creamy head. Just like a well-made short black.
No, it
Smells
is.
lovely.
It is up front with the milk stout, with the lactose. Yummy.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that's yummy.
It's a lovely bittersweet. Slightly acid.
Very middling body, but that's what you get with 5.5,
Well,
which is good.
Light body,
You
but
don't
it's
always want a
it's
massive
boosted
stout.
up by the lactose, which
yeah.
makes it, though it's quite light, it's very, very rounded. So it just kind of fits in there on the tongue, and that's really pretty good.
If this was a whole lot stronger, it might just overshadow the flavours, which are really quite
Well,
complex and subtle too.
I
So-
think this is as strong as it needs to be. It's not thin.
Exactly, like if it was stronger, it would,
See that?
it would just taste
I'm
weaker.
more and more. I'm appreciating beers that are only as strong as is required.
Yes.
Once a beer tastes thin, then it needs to be stronger. But if it doesn't taste thin, then I think that's perfect. I think reaching for once the alcohol just starts just spinning away into Suzzleston, then it's too strong. I don't know. I must be getting old, but I'm beginning to appreciate just something nice, something middle of the road, something that is as strong as required rather than as strong as it can possibly
Campbell's
be.
into it.
I think that boat's sailed. Yeah.
Cat black beer.
Well, milk stout as well.
That's really nice. Yeah. Milk stout can be hit or miss depending who's making it. In this case, it is very much.
It's got a
hit.
nice roastiness on the end.
It's got a very good
I think there's a
coffee
bit of roasted barley
chocolate
in there.
accent to it.
Bit of chocolate malt.
Yeah, no, I think that's if not the best one yet. I think that's
Very drying too, actually.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm getting it now.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to say that's my favourite one so far. I'm not a big one into milk stouts, but I think this one's
think they're
quite
good.
pretty masterful, really. No, I'll
So
go
good
right
and
up there.
slowly.
That's gorgeous. That's a gorgeous beer.
that's very nice.
Every part of that's great, and every part of that would be even better if you got it off a pull or off the tap. You know, I'm going to say have it off the pull because that will just magnify the creaminess just tenfold, and it will be a beer experience like few others. So yeah, try and get it that way.
Quite sweet, isn't it? On the end,
It's very sweet,
getting
but,
very sweet,
yeah.
yeah.
Milk stouts always are because lactose is sugar. It is a form of complex sugar, just like
Yeah, it's
fructose
unfermentable.
or things like that, but it's not fermentable by
Saccharomyces.
No,
so
just for the sake of my general beery knowledge, milk stouts. No one actually makes a milk stout using milk, right? The lactose is
Lactose.
extracted
No.
from the milk.
no,
Prior
not
to
unless
its
they're
use.
insane. No, the lactose milk sugar is extracted and put in
Good to
a refined state.
Yeah.
Nice enough hasn't been like some
Like
fresh,
you did
creamy
dextrose.
dairy sitting over several months.
No.
No.
Alright, lucky last. Well, we started on a big beer. We're ending on a big beer too, physically and
Jeez.
alcoholically. Weighing in at a stonking great
I believe that's 7.5.
7.5%.
So it's only the biggest by 0.1.
Yes, Flemish stout.
Biggest is biggest. Hey.
Classic traditional Flemish fashion. The stout is large in flavour and has more tones than a one-man band.
Great.
Tells us relatively little, but let's see what bottle.
Yeah, that's a trick for new players, that bar blade. It only works on one end.
What's the other one for?
Nothing.
Useless.
It's spinning around your finger.
Well, it's
Put it in a glass. You're wasting beer.
it's got life.
Well, what do they tell us? See, the aromas of dark chocolate and cherries will sweep you off your feet. Sweet and sour,
Sour
dancing on your
cherries.
tongue. Sweet and
Yeah,
sour,
Mm.
dancing
At
on
least
your
it
tongue.
says the word.
Backed up with subtle woody undertones, this Flemish stout.
We should have done our
brings
research
great
on Flemish
body
stout.
and balance.
Well, this is my research on
Never
Flemish
mind,
stout. I've
yeah.
never seen it before in my life.
Apparently, this dark little ditty will crescendo into a chocolate fruity melody of unparalleled complexity. It bodes interestingly.
You know what? I'm going to be a huge dick and say Townsend's writing is kind of bald on the back
Well,
of these.
most brewers are. Really.
Yeah.
They all do it. They all do it.
I mean, but you know, points for effort.
To be fair, that aroma is not entirely farmhouse and Brettanomyces and other awfulness it shouldn't be in beer.
It's sour.
Yeah. Ooh, whoa.
It stings of Brett to me.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
That's an
Ugh, that's like sour, and then it just ends on like a really dark chocolate, like cocoa nibs.
I'm
sort of
getting
thing.
licorice. I'm getting a hint of
Okay.
acid. I mean acidic, not a hit of acid.
I'm getting a hit of acid right
Sorry.
after this.
It's an acidic
That's what it needs.
quality up front,
Yeah.
then into some licorice, some rooty spiciness. Licorice root.
Rooty spiciness.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
Good one.
that's quaint.
Oh.
That's an
You know-
interesting mix.
I might hate this.
Can't handle the jandals.
Like I agree with Dave on the acid. It's quite aggressive. It's very, very foamy.
Yes.
It is.
Let me take another hit here.
Another tab of that one.
It's not as sour as a properly soured beer. It's not as sweet and chocolatey and bittersweet and coffee-like as a strong stout would be otherwise. It's
Good. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's got a
denying
lot.
it's
I think
which
if
is really
I
weird.
let this go flat, it might be a bit
Yeah.
better. This
bit
is
more
just
doable.
it's very harsh to me.
I'm fine with the effervescence. It's the just alien mix of flavours which is really throwing my senses and my
I think that's a good thing.
Perceptions.
I think it's cool
Yeah.
to have that sometimes. Something that just whacks you right up.
for sure. You know, not knowing what you're going to get, having a bit of a surprise is the best part of this job.
Yeah.
Like I say, job, hobby.
Best part of drinking beer.
Yeah, best part of drinking beer is not getting the same old thing every time. When
Yeah,
you-
that's right. That's why we do it.
yeah.
No, I'm going to stick with. I hate it. I hate it.
Oh, jeez.
It's sharp and prickly and no, I don't like it.
Contrast. There's juxtaposition.
Yeah, there is, but it's not the one I'm looking for.
Oh,
it's
go
not.
back to your ESB, old man.
Well, we definitely finished and started on two particular very strong, very high alcohol, very extreme flavours, which are very much
No,
outside
it
of
was
their
a
normal
good- it
comfort
was a
zone
good-
we'd associate with
good
their style.
bracket there. And this is by no means everything that Townshend
They have a-
produces. It's just
He
what we
has a
had.
big range.
It was just what we had sitting about the house. And there's a few other special ones. He does Fat Hand, which is a strong ale, comes in a big bottle as well. That's
Ooh.
an earthquake.
That was
Great.
an hefty earthquake. We're outside and we
Boom.
felt that one. That is
So that's fun. And he does also brew cider. which I have not tried, but I don't think there's going to be anything wrong with. If you're into your ciders, that could be one to check out.
I'm into a good cider. Maybe we should check that
It
sometime.
could be a good English slant on a cider, which we don't often see
We'll
in
come
New
back for
Zealand.
them. Yeah.
Yes.
That man must get up early in the morning, I tell you what, because, yeah.
It's a hard life, I'm sure.
It must be. There is so many of these beers, and they're so available. Guy just must bust himself brewing
Yeah.
these things. Must be all he does. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, no, good stuff. Hate the last one. What can you do? Either way,
Can't please everyone.
especially not me. This has been the Sesh for a real quick look at the Townsend's Brewery. Hope you enjoyed the earthquake. It's a bit of Christchurch culture from us to you.
Getting it out there.
Yep. Lucky we don't have anything with chords in.
Oh well.
Never mind. We will catch you very shortly with some more things coming up. As soon as we get psyched, we have got a dark beer episode coming out for you. We have costumes. It's going to be like nothing the internet has ever seen before. Dave might take his shirt off. I don't know.
Hope
It might
not.
be too hot for TV. We'll see. Either way, this has been the Sesh. We will catch you back next time. Thanks for watching.